We're jumping right into the next weapon restricted run. The top most requested run by far was the Clank Zapper only run. But that'll take some prep time mentally. For now though, I have an equally hellish challenge for you. Can you beat Ratchet and Clank 3 up your arsenal using only the Infector? This challenge was requested by both Jesse Gunthor 1079 and Callum N 2111. Congratulations, you've been forever binded to the Infector. Whether it's a good or bad thing, I'll leave up to you to decide. And if you want to see a specific challenge run, throw your requests in the comments. I read through all of them, and if I think it would make a good video, I might just do it. Also, really quick, a reminder that once we hit 100 YouTube members, we'll be doing a live stream permadeath run of the entire Ratchet and Clank series. If you want to see this, consider becoming a member. We will just now need to quickly go over the rules. For this run, we are only going to be allowed to attack enemies using the Infector and the upgraded Infecto bomb. We will not be allowed to use the wrench to break crates or damage enemies. This also includes using the thruster pack or charge boots to destroy crates. We have to destroy them with the Infector. The bonus challenge will be similar to the N60 Storm only challenge we did 2 weeks ago. We need to beat the Quarktastic Arena Battle using only the Infector. This is a fight that goes on for 100 rounds, has several bosses, and 0 checkpoints. This is going to be a real test of skill. To sum up, we can only use the Infector, we cannot use the wrench except for bulk cranks, we cannot use the thruster pack or charge boots to destroy crates, and for the bonus challenge, we need to complete the Quarktastic Battle. Ratchet and Clank are chilling playing, I think, chess? Hey, is that a snaggle beast? They then decide to go back to their home galaxy. Now, we don't start with the Infector. In fact, we can't buy it until level 3. How are we going to do this then? Well, Billy, we're playing this challenge on a PS3 copy. You can just put in this button combination in a menu to unlock a super secret weapon unlocking debug mode. Then, simply press L3 on where the Infector is, and there you go. Now, very quickly, I'll go over what the Infector actually does, as it is a very weird weapon. The Infector shoots out blobs. If an enemy is hit by it, they will start fighting the other enemies. This much is clear. However, there are 2 secret functions of the weapon. The blobs do deal damage on impact. It isn't much, but they do damage enemies. And over time, the enemy that got blobbed will be taking constant damage. Not that that's going to help us. We need to destroy this Tyranoid ship, and the Infector does not deal damage to it. Why is that? I have no idea. Some flying enemies are hit by it and some aren't. And we can't just walk around it, as there is an invisible wall. Luckily, we aren't fully screwed. If we conscientiously object, the Rangers will defeat him for us, letting us continue on. We've got to be very good at ammo management, as a crate will only give us 2 pieces of ammo, and obviously it costs an ammo to break the box, leaving us a net positive of 1 ammo per crate. God damn. We need to then help the Rangers take out a few rounds of enemies. This part is absolutely fine, as there are plenty of ammo crates around. It's this next part that could kill the run. We have another ship we need to take out, and the Rangers aren't going to help us. The Infector still can't destroy this thing, and believe me, I tried. I shot 30 something rounds at it. So how are we going to get past this? It's a little tricky, but we can high jump and glide into it. Doing this in a very specific spot allows us to gain a little extra height off of the enemy, and we can glide over and activate the cutscene, skipping the enemy entirely. Captain Quark has been revealed in more ways than one.
He was buck naked, screaming and holding a banana. Or maybe it weren't a banana.
We explore the swamp, which is actually quite easy. We can use the Infector against the, whatever the hell that thing is. If we ever run out of ammo, the best thing to do is run back to a vendor. The best way to keep our ammo count high is infecting an enemy individually and letting that enemy kill as many enemies as they can before the poison then gets them. We get a new friend, but I think he comes pre-packaged with the other guy. The path of death is pretty easy. Fighting Captain Quark reveals a very big problem. We cannot actually damage him at all with the Infector. The most infuriating part about this is that ammo crates regenerate throughout this fight, so the lack of ammo would not even be a problem. Instead of throwing in the towel, however, we'll keep the run interesting. This is now a minimalist run. If we absolutely have to defeat an enemy and can't do it with the Infector, we can use the wrench. I'll also be keeping track up here for you guys. Throw in the comments your guess for how many times we end up defeating someone with the wrench. We send Quark to jail for his truly unspeakable crimes, and we find out that the president is under siege. We can also buy the first set of armor before we leave from Arcadia. Only 10,000 bolts for a 33% damage reduction. Completely essential for a run like this. Arcadia itself is a pretty easy level, so I'm going to quickly go over the upgrades the Infector gets. At level 2, the range is increased. At level 3, splash damage is added, which I didn't really feel at all. At level 4, the range is increased again. Jesus. And finally, at level 5, it fires multiple blobs at the same time. Well now, that is quite the list of upgrades. 2 of them are the same upgrade. Regardless, most of our way through the city is quite easy, and we have plenty of ammo crates along the way, and we can always jump back to the vendor. It's the ranger missions in Arcadia that could prove troubling. There are only a couple of ammo boxes to use in these missions, and no vendors. We will need to defeat every enemy in these missions to complete each one too. So long as you are careful with your ammo, you should be able to get through these, however. We meet up with the president.
My daughter tells me you're a man who's good with his hands, Ratchet.
Sir, I swear.
And enter the facility and use the refractor. This allows us to complete a couple laser puzzles here, and on one other level, we find Big Owl, who lends us his prized possession, the mint condition Captain Quark video game, which we play through to get Quark to, I guess, D-Monkey. Annihilation Nation is one of the most deceptively difficult levels I've ever had to play in any challenge video. Not the obstacle course bit, that's absolutely fine. It's the arena where things get really messy. In case you still don't know, we have a total of 18 ammo, and 18 is not a big number. Ammo crates won't come in until round 5, where at best we can only recover 8 shots. Now, this is a near impossible task, but I'm determined. We can get the enemies to defeat each other and then use the Infector to finish off the final enemy. Now, this will take a while to get done, as we need to do this perfectly. We will also have to min-max splash damage against the Spinny Blade exclusive rounds, as they don't deal damage to each other. After 3 hours, we do manage to do it, however. Captain Quark then partakes in serious training and becomes the Secretary General of Space. We reach Aquatos and need to escort Skid through the level, so he can unlock a few doors for us. He will not move forward until all the enemies are defeated. This isn't too difficult, as we can keep going back to the vendor at the beginning of the level. On top of that, the robots and amoeboids will passively attack each other. The big amoeboids can be taken down quickly with the Infector, so there are no issues there. Our favourite Black Arms dealer explains his latest crimes.
I had a small run-in with the cops concerning a suck cannon upgrade that was mistakenly sold to a miner.
Ratchet and Clank split up to infiltrate Nefarious' office, with Clank getting the monkey, and Ratchet getting whatever this is. I'm not too sure who has it worse. We then take a trip down the sewers, where we find the plumber. He will buy crystals from us for 2,000 bolts each. Now, originally I had planned on getting as many of these sewer crystals as I could, but we find out immediately that the Infector can't break the crystals open. That means that we can only collect the crystals from the giant amoeboids, until also figuring out that most giant amoeboids will only spawn in after you collect the crystal in front of them, which means we can't actually collect many at all. Before the assault, we can buy the next armor. This will cost us 60,000 bolts for 50% protection. Ratchet and Clank then dive into the facility. The Rangers are here to help too. They are actually quite useful here, until they aren't. You see, to actually beat this level, we will need to destroy these battery battery things, which the Infector cannot damage, and the Rangers will not destroy them either. However, enemies can destroy them, but if the Rangers get here, they are going to take out those enemies, so we need to run ahead of them and get the enemies to destroy the batteries. Scrunch then appears to be our backup, and he's great, as you'd expect. We can destroy batteries by ramming into them with the car too, but much like a middle-aged marriage, he's outlived his usefulness. But we get another close call. The enemy surrounding this last battery here cannot attack it. However, we can let the previous enemies live and use the refractor to shoot the battery, destroying it. We can now proceed to the Tyranoid Leader. Now for the real kick in the teeth. This boss cannot be defeated with the Infector. Not only is there not enough ammo in the two arenas, but the Infector doesn't even damage it. We need to use the wrench another time. But hey, we did get the boss to do this, so that's cool. Beating him with the wrench is pretty easy. Either do wrench throws or get behind him and do hyper strikes. We were also able to glitch his pathfinding AI to just do this, which works too. The captain steals the spotlight like a true hero. Before starting Dax properly, as usual, we get the charge boots first, because they will be needed for a few skips. The first of which is right now. We need to fight this dropship. Not only do we have no way of getting any more ammo, but the Infector also doesn't deal damage to it. Why is this game so inconsistent? We're going to have to wrench only this boss too, but how? If you charge boot towards the cliffs, you can actually glide up the wall, similarly to how we did it before. High jump onto the building, and there you go. Now just spend 45 minutes throwing the wrench at this guy, and easy peasy. Ratchet shows off his impeccable dance moves, and we infiltrate the main building. This is actual hell. The only thing we can really do here is use our Infector rounds constantly and keep making trips back to the vendor. Not very interesting, but it sure keeps us alive. The only thing worth noting about Obani Gemini is that these soldiers won't actually damage each other. Another oversight. It's almost as if they didn't think someone 20 years later would be playing the game like this. Oh, and Skid covers our back.
Cover me! Ooh, man down!
We jump back to Annihilation Nation to beat a new gauntlet of challenges. The death course is business as usual. Scorpio, however, he can be damaged with it, but at this specific time there aren't any ammo crates here. So we're going to add another to the tally and take him out with the wrench. Now we will be returning to Annihilation Nation later to tackle more of the challenges, but I'm not attempting anything without the PDA. We've got some more Ranger missions to do, and with this level, we finally reach level 5, and the Infector is now actually good. Well, good is a bit of a stretch, but this is actually kind of viable now. Each shot releases several blobs, meaning that our damage potential has just tripled. That is not to say things will be easy from here on. The ant may be stronger than it once was, but the boot still crushes him. We are also about to be in trouble. The turrets are a necessary kill and the Infector does not hurt them. Luckily, we can get the turrets to destroy each other. The timing is a little tricky as they both need to be destroyed at the same time, but we are able to get it on the second attempt, and we are given the gravity boots. We're on the set of the next Secret Agent Clank episode, and Clank needs to make his fans proud. If I see any comments talking about how the run is invalidated because I use Giant Clank, I'm deleting my channel and videos forever. Don't test me. Nefarious then tries to talk Clank into robotic domination, with him obviously refusing. We are then introduced to the toughest normal enemies, the Commanders. These guys are best taken care of quickly, as they shoot the enemies just as hard as they would normally shoot you. Learn the patterns of these guys because they're only going to be getting tougher soon. We find Clank near the ship and he's definitely not evil now. We complete the literal 2-minute level before finding Skid, who seems to be having a blast.
Whoa! Like I never knew you were this kinky, Miss Gears.
Don't you ever shut up.
And we need to now fight Courtney Gears. Now Courtney cannot be damaged by the Infector, even though the Dancer minions opponents can be. She also remains completely out of range of the dancers, so they can't attack her either, which means we will be taking the dancers out with the Infector and Courtney with the wrench. Wrench only against this boss is kind of irritating. For the first half, we need to do wrench throws in between dodging, which takes ages. The second half is a lot easier. We can stagger her with hyper strikes and just keep on going. Eventually, she will go down. We track down Captain Quark and his new brother Scrunch.
It was mating season. How could I have known she was your sister?
I'm pretty sure that's a crime. Luckily, there's a vendor on the ship, so this area is alright. Just keep making trips back and forth, and we meet Nefarious, who begins the self-destruct sequence, taking down the captain. Before we begin Metropolis, the next armor is available. This one will cost us 250,000 bolts, but it's not like we have much else to buy. All the Tyranoid enemies get an insane stat boost here when they all become robots. Make sure to prioritize commanders, as they are by far the strongest enemy now. But never forget that simply running past everyone is also always a valid option. Once we make it to Nefarious, it is revealed that Clank was evil the whole time, and we have to take him down. Giant Clunk is actually beatable with the Infector. Why? I have no clue, but I'm not wasting this opportunity. We are beating this boss with only the Infector. Unfortunately, it does not deal a lot of damage. There is, however, an ammo crate at the back of the train that will spawn back in continually. All we need to do is move the box off camera. So we do have infinite ammo here. Because the train we're on is constantly moving, however, it is difficult to line up a shot on anything. This boss is easy, but it unironically took so much time that I saw attacks that I have never seen this boss use before. After about 1 hour of hell, we then rescue Real Clank. We jump to the crash site. This level is a big difficulty spike. Luckily, we can prioritise infecting the large enemies, who can then take out the smaller enemies for us. There's also a secret item you can get here that I would recommend getting. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the emergency health restoration thingy. It will store a heal for us that is used when we would normally die. We find out Quark faked his death. Even so, he still deceives us.
I should have known. What? That Quark had a sister? Huh? No.
We can now get back to the ship after one final climb. This is pretty okay. Again, we can just more or less run past all the enemies. Although I do recommend staying at the top for a little bit so that we can get all the bolts up here. Big Al then makes a shocking discovery.
We found something interesting in Quark's quarters.
Hey, if it's another crotchetizer, I don't even...
Now, normally we'd need to do an extra level before this one. Aridia, the worst level in the game, gives us the warp pad gadget, which is used twice in the entire game, with both of those times being on this level and mere minutes between each other. But as you can probably guess, we can skip both of these required segments. But before that, we get the PDA for 250,000 bolts. This will allow us to purchase ammo wherever we want, but for a 10 times price increase. Back to the skip. If we position ourselves here, we can actually high jump up this pole. It isn't even that hard to do. And for the second skip, all we need to do is use the charge boots. With that, we have skipped the worst level in the game. After a lot of horrible ice physics and an even worse Clank level, we find the captain, who refuses to lend us his aid. We basically went through this level for nothing. We return to the Phoenix, which is under assault by Nefarious's ninja army. Why does he have ninjas? I don't know, it's never explained. We are also introduced to these giant robot enemies, which are not fun to take down. They take an absolute beating, not to mention they have long-ranged attacks. A few Infector rounds can take these guys out though. We jump back to the arena now that we have the PDA. We can more comfortably get through the other challenges to unlock the Quarktastic Battle. But before that, we need to tackle all the other challenges. We do them all: cycling weapons, gas rounds, bosses, and then it hits us. We cannot beat the Quarktastic Battle, but not for the reason you'd think. We can 100% beat the Quarktastic Battle, even if it costs us more bolt to do, then we'd end up winning. But we can't actually unlock it, all because 2-minute warning. we have to defeat the Terrible 2 in under 2 minutes. I'm going to say that this is likely impossible. We simply don't have enough damage dealing potential to defeat both of these bosses, with only the Infector in under 2 minutes. After about half an hour, the best I got up to was halfway. This means that we have failed the bonus challenge. No time for that though, we have an endgame to wrap up. Ratchet and Clank need to infiltrate the fortress so they can destroy the Bio-Obliterator using the massive turrets. Luckily, the difficulty in this level is more so the amount of enemies we face. The Infector can take care of all of these enemies, the only thing to be cautious of at all are the big robots, as again, they can be tricky to take down. But I think there's only 4 of those total. Just take down the small enemies first and move on to the big guys. Clank then operates the turret and destroys the Bio-Obliterator. Now, in a fun change of pace, the final level here isn't actually too bad. If we take it slow and infect the large enemies, they can more or less take everyone out. Where this gets fun for you and exclusively not me, my save file actually corrupted right before the final boss, which means that this week I had to replay the entire challenge again. That's certainly worth a subscribe, I'd say. We somehow glitched the beginning of the final Nefarious fight and skipped the Halo jump bit, and now it's time to fight Nefarious. Unfortunately, he is not damaged by the Infector. I really played the entire challenge again for nothing. Beating him wrench only isn't too bad. Wait for an opening and hyper strike. Honestly, this challenge was kinda irritating. Why can Clunk be defeated with the Infector, but the other bosses can't? Hopefully it was worth the deterioration my mental state has just gone through, so I'm leaving it up to you. Can you get less than 6 wrench kills in this challenge? To clarify, this run was done on a PS3 US copy of the Ratchet and Clank HD collection, and was done on a fresh save file. If you do beat my score, be sure to tell me about it in the comments, and with Captain Quark saving me from this nightmare, the Ratchet and Clank 3 Infector Only challenge is complete.
Well, Courtney Gears didn't seem to mind.
Apologies for the intermission, but if you've been enjoying this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. Thank you to all YouTube members, I appreciate every single one of you. A specific thank you to Al Gore, Bento Baker Primordius, Friendly Neighborhood Lurker, Invigil, Kupo Corner, Multibrad X, No One, _XX Pitters 98XX_, and thank you for watching the full video.